4 in the morning, you're staring at your phone, bank account open. Same number you saw yesterday, same number you'll see tomorrow. And somewhere inside, a voice whispers the thing you won't say out loud. Maybe this is just who I am. But here's what nobody's telling you. That voice, it's not yours, it never was. See, most people spend their entire lives fighting for money. But the fight isn't happening in their bank account. It's happening in a place they can't see, a place most never look. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly where that battlefield is and how one person went from barely surviving to multiplying their income 8 times over, not by working harder, but by killing something that was planted in their mind decades ago. Let me show you something most people never notice. Your financial reality right now, it's not random, it's not bad luck, it's not even about how hard you work. It's architecture, mental architecture, built when you were too young to know what was happening. Think about it, you're 7 years old, maybe 8. Your mom's at the kitchen table, bills spread out like a crime scene. You hear her sigh, you see her face, you feel the tension in the air. And right there in that moment, your brain makes a connection. Money equals stress, money equals struggle, money equals something bad people have too much of. You didn't choose that belief, but your brain installed it anyway, like software running in the background, invisible, automatic, controlling everything. Fast forward 20 years, you're working yourself into the ground, you're doing everything right, you're hustling, you're sacrificing, you're grinding, but somehow you always end up at the same number, the same financial ceiling, the same exact place. And here's the brutal truth most motivational speakers won't tell you. It's not because you're not working hard enough. It's because there's a part of your brain that believes this is where you belong. This is your maximum. This is safe. Your subconscious mind isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you from the unknown, from becoming someone your family won't recognize, from proving that childhood belief wrong and facing a reality you're not prepared for. So it sabotages you, subtly. You overspend right after you get paid. You avoid that promotion conversation. You charge less than you're worth. You say yes to things that drain you. All because somewhere deep inside, a 9-year-old version of you is terrified of what happens if you become someone different. Let me tell you about Derek. Derek's 32, works in sales for a logistics company, married 4 years to Lisa, no kids yet, making $4,800 a month, living in a decent apartment, $1,500 in rent. Every night, same ritual, gets home around 7, opens banking app before he even takes his shoes off. Sees the number, does the math, bills, groceries, gas, that payment plan he signed up for 6 months ago, always short, always stressed, always that same sinking feeling in his chest. But here's the thing, Derek was good at his job, really good. His manager told him 3 times he should apply for the senior position, $12,000 more a year, but Derek never did, always had a reason, not ready yet, need more experience, timing's not right. Thursday night, October 9th. Lisa's talking about maybe starting to save for a house. Derek's looking at his phone, $4,700 in checking, $3,200 in bills due next week. He does the math and says maybe next year. Lisa looks at him, really looks at him, and she asks the question that changes everything. Do you actually believe we can have more, or are you just saying that? Derek opens his mouth to answer. Nothing comes out, because in that moment he realizes something terrifying. He doesn't believe it. He's never believed it. Somewhere along the way, he accepted that this is just how life is for people like him. This is the ceiling. This is the limit. This is safe. That night, 3:18 in the morning, Derek can't sleep. He's thinking about his dad. Blue collar, worked 40 years at the same factory. Good man, honest man, never made more than $35,000 a year, never complained, and Derek loved him for that. But Derek also realized something else. He'd been unconsciously recreating his father's life, not because it's what he wanted, but because it felt like betrayal to want more, like saying his dad's sacrifice wasn't enough, like becoming someone his family wouldn't understand. The belief wasn't "I can't make more money." The belief was deeper, more personal, more painful. If I succeed beyond what my father achieved, I'm somehow saying he failed. And that belief had been running his life for 32 years. Derek made a decision that night, not to work harder, not to hustle more, but to rewire the operating system. He started with something simple, Every morning, before checking his phone, before the day started pulling him in 1,000 directions, he'd sit for 5 minutes, not meditating, not visualizing, just asking one question: what would someone who believes they deserve more do today? Not someone who wants more, someone who believes they deserve it. There's a universe of difference between those two things. Week 1, the answer was small. Someone who deserves more wouldn't accept this commission rate. So he scheduled the meeting he'd been avoiding for 6 months, asked for the 18% rate the senior reps get. Manager said yes in 4 minutes, 800 more a month, just like that. Week 2, different question, same process. Someone who deserves more wouldn't stay late unpaid 3 nights a week. He started leaving at 5:30, felt guilty for exactly 4 days. Then he realized the work still got done. He was just protecting his energy instead of giving it away for free to feel valuable. Month 2, the big one, applied for that senior position. Interview lasted 20 minutes. They'd been waiting for him to apply, $7,200 a month now, but here's the interesting part. The money didn't feel scary anymore. It felt like coming home to a version of himself that had been waiting patiently for him to catch up. By month 5, Derek was doing something he never thought possible, teaching other sales reps his process. Not his work process, his mental process. How to identify the belief running in the background, how to question it, how to replace it with something that serves the life you actually want to build. Month 8, the manager pulled him aside. They want him to run the new territory. 9,400 base, uncapped commission. 3 years ago, Derek would have said he wasn't ready, would have found a reason to stay small, but now he knows the truth. The ceiling was never about capability, it was always about permission. Permission he'd been waiting for someone else to give him, permission that could only ever come from himself. Derek didn't become rich in 8 months. He became someone who believes they're allowed to build wealth. And that shift changed everything. So here's what most people miss about financial transformation. They think it's about strategy, about finding the right investment, the right side hustle, the right opportunity. But strategy is worthless if you're running corrupted software. You can have the perfect plan and still sabotage yourself back to the same place because your subconscious is protecting you from becoming someone you don't believe you're allowed to be. The real work isn't learning how to make more money, it's learning how to hold more money, how to believe you deserve it, how to operate from a place of abundance instead of scarcity, how to stop apologizing for wanting more. And here's the part that might make you uncomfortable. That shift requires you to let someone die. The version of you that your family loves, the version your friends know, the version that's safe and predictable and doesn't threaten anyone's worldview. Transformation isn't addition, it's substitution. You don't become a new person while keeping the old one intact. You replace the operating system, you delete the corrupted files, you install new beliefs that actually serve the future you're building instead of the past you're protecting. That's why change feels like death, because it is. You're killing the identity that kept you small. You're betraying the unspoken family contract that says this is our ceiling and we don't go higher. You're stepping into a version of yourself that people might not recognize, might not understand, might even resent. And you have to be okay with that, because the alternative is spending your entire life living someone else's limitations as if they're your own. Right now, I want you to do something, not tomorrow, not when you have time, right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Ask yourself one question: what do I believe about money that I've never said out loud? Whatever comes up, that's the program running in the background. That's the belief that's been controlling your financial ceiling without you even knowing it was there. Now ask the second question: is that actually true, or is that just what I was taught to believe? Most people never ask that second question. They accept the programming as reality. They live their entire lives inside someone else's belief system, wondering why they can't break through. But you're not most people. You're here, you're watching this. You're one of the few who's willing to look at the architecture instead of just rearranging the furniture. So here's your protocol. For the next 7 days, every morning before you check your phone, ask yourself, what would someone who believes they deserve financial abundance do today? And then do that thing, even if it's small, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if a voice inside says, "Who do you think you are?" Because that voice, that's not wisdom. That's just the old program trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you small, trying to keep you in the cage you've been living in for so long you forgot it was a cage at all. You don't need permission to want more. You don't need permission to build wealth. You don't need permission to become the version of yourself that's been waiting for you to finally believe you're allowed. The only person who can give you that permission is you, and the time to give it is right now. Drop permission granted in the comments if you identified the belief that's been holding you back and you're ready to reprogram it. The video on screen shows you exactly how to maintain this new operating system once you've installed it, because identifying the belief is step one. Keeping the new one locked in, that's where most people lose the game. Like this video, subscribe, because every week I'm showing you how to dismantle the invisible cages you didn't even know you were living in. And if you want the deeper work, the protocols I can't share publicly, become a member. That's where we're building the actual fortress. Now tell me in the comments, what belief did you inherit about money that you're finally ready to delete? Let's expose it together.